Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for April 24, 2023, the Extradition edition. And we begin with 2 stories on that topic, a very rare treat for listeners to the Daily Compliance News. First up, as reported by Reuters, Autonomy founder Mike Lynch's appeal against U.S. extradition was rejected by a UK court. This moves Lynch one step closer to facing justice in the United States. If he gets to the U.S., he'll be tried in San Francisco, where I have no doubt the jury will find him guilty, just as they did with the CFO. So no wonder he doesn't want to come to the U.S. He doesn't want to be convicted. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. has extradited former Peruvian president on corruption charges. Alejandro Toledo arrived in native Peru, where he faces charges of taking bribes. The 77-year-old former president was handed over to Peruvian authorities, who said he would be transferred to a police station and then a prison on the outskirts of Lima, where 2 other ex-presidents are currently jailed. You got to give Peru credit. They go after their ex-presidents. He is charged with taking a $20 million bribe from the Brazilian company Odebrecht in exchange for contracts for a highway project. Next up, also from the Wall Street Journal, now former NBC Universal CEO Jeff Shell is departing the company after a report of inappropriate conduct by a company probe. He oversaw NBC Universal's entertainment operations and had been with Comcast for roughly 2 decades. He had an inappropriate relationship with a woman in the company, and he is now leaving. Comcast launched an investigation after receiving a complaint from a former employee against him. And the chief executive officer said that the company is built on a culture of integrity and nothing is more important on how people are treated, and that you expect your leaders to create a safe and respectful workplace. So another leader bites the dust for having an affair. And our final story comes to us from the BBC as we look at the continuing saga of the English company CBI. And they have now suspended key activities until June after a number of firms quit doing business with them following allegations of rape and sexual assault. This shows the reputational damage which will happen for a company which has, frankly, a toxic culture. The company itself claimed it was shocked and revulsed at the alleged events, although it's not clear if that was because they lost business, because of the reputational hits, or because they're just a toxic place to work for. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.